Good afternoon, it's Saturday, it's 4th of August, 14 minutes past 2 p.m. here in Australia, and here is my latest video blog. Today I'm going to do an awareness video and just touch on some of the subjects I spoke about in my last market review video in regards to what is next for the cryptocurrency space. And I think a lot of people are looking for answers. What's going to be the catalyst moment or event, or is it going to be regulatory decision making, or is it going to be access for institutions to actually enter cryptocurrencies? I think it's going to be, or the blockchain, it's going to be a combination of both. There needs to be a regulatory framework, there needs to be platforms that allow confidence for the existing financial sector to migrate and come over to the blockchain in a regulatory space that allows seamless, secure transitions. I think that's probably the best way to look at it. And I think we're a few years away from it, and I have been trying to see who is actually working in this space. I think currently we have Polymath, and then I came across this website called MOBU, who is looking at doing an ICO in the very, very short term, and leading into next year they're seeking to release a platform that's going to support security tokens. Now, what I wanted to do is run through some key language that I pulled out of the white paper, and just hopefully give you a bit of an understanding of what MOBU is looking at delivering. So essentially there is a video here on the front page, and I do like playing the video, but this one actually goes for about 4 minutes, so I'm not going to play that. However, I will post it on my Steam It blog for people to have a look at, and obviously you can come to mobu.io if you want to have a little look at the video. There is a lot of information here. Obviously going through the white paper will give you more detailed information. So what is MOBU? How does it work? Now, real businesses wishing to raise capital by issuing security tokens will build their ICOs on the MOBU platform. MOBU creates an abstract smart contract from which all security token ICOs will be extended. The MOBU abstract smart contract will contain the code that is required by the security token ICOs to conform to the MOBU ERC20 platform and the MOB20 standard to adapt to the ideas and requirements of MOBU. Now, what they're looking at doing is opening up the channel to allow mining stocks, retail, everything, a lot of the publicly floated companies that we know that go through the traditional stock market to be able to launch ICOs and then be able to tokenize their existing companies and businesses. So this is a pretty exciting concept. It's not necessarily new, but what we're looking for is it to actually become real. And if they can work through the regulatory web of, I think it's quite complex, and there's no doubt there's a lot of regulations depending on what jurisdiction you're in. But if they can work through that and then create a platform that allows, like I said, regulatory stability and confidence, then I think you'll see the blockchain and cryptocurrency markets absolutely explode. No doubt there'll be a lot of dilution, but the fact is there'll be a lot more energy and confidence to invest into the space. So moving along, I've just got a heap of tabs open as I do. Throughout history, there has always been revolutionary ideas, but those who lack the vision to embrace the future invariably get left behind. I really like that statement. It was something I was sort of touching on last year when I was talking about blockchain and talking about the opportunity of getting into cryptocurrencies, and that was way back in I think it was April, March 2017. There was a huge opportunity to get in, and obviously we saw 2017 explode. Now we've seen it all settle down, and we're looking for the next stage. And in my last video I did talk about you can't necessarily look at the charts in history and say that that's going to define the future, but there's no doubt there's a little bit of a pattern there. There's a 3-year cycle going on, very similar to what we saw in 2013 Christmas, 2017, and I personally feel that the Christmas to 2020, 2021 is going to be 5 times bigger than what we saw in 2017, especially if platforms like MOBU, ETFs and the SEC start putting forward regulatory guidelines for the current and existing financial system to transition over to the cryptocurrency or blockchain market. The securities market is a multi-trillion-dollar arena, and there's a lot of little graphs that go around. I think it's in excess of 65 trillion, and this arena remains virtually untouched in the blockchain space. Imagine unlocking that vast potential through a consolidated, enabling and self-regulating platform. Launching an ICO that offers a security token can be extremely challenging due to the magnitude of technical, legal and regulatory requirements and procedures. Failure to abide by these regulations could result in costly penalties and could threaten to derail the whole project. And there's no doubt there's a whole heap of manipulation, and there's a whole heap of uncertainties around the existing platforms that we see. We've seen a lot of ICOs, not necessarily all of them, but a small percentage have been scams, etc., etc. So what needs to happen is we need to have that framework that is going to enable these major billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies like Apple. I think Apple this week is in the trillion-dollar club now. I mean, that's just massive. So MOBU's platform is going to be a decentralized, organized ICO platform to facilitate the release of compliant security tokens on the blockchain. Real businesses wishing to raise capital by issuing security tokens will build their ICOs on the MOBU platform. MOBU creates an abstract smart contract from which all security token ICOs will be extended. The MOBU abstract smart contract will contain the code that is required by the security token. A regulatory-friendly token is the only way to allow institutional money to enter the blockchain, and a user-friendly platform for trusted ICOs is the only way to allow non-tech businessmen to participate in the blockchain, meaning there's a lot of conservatives out there, and we talk about superannuation and hedge funds, all of these particular parts of the financial institution itself, that they need these type of platforms, and they need the regulatory background to ensure that they don't put their clients at risk. And that's what this is all about. It's about confidence and regulatory support. So as the cryptocurrency market evolves, the global adoption of ICO fundraising structures has led to an explosion of new capital formation that has outpaced both the seed and venture capital investment markets. The 86 ICOs that were launched during the first term of 2018 were able to raise a mammoth amount of US $3.4 billion in total. The total costs of launching successful ICOs are a lot more cost effective in raising funds than IPOs. However, approximately 98% of these ICOs launched utility tokens. Now, through a massive bear trend between January and now, it's still very, very bearish. These ICOs still were very, very successful in raising funds. That's because obviously it's part of a disruptive technology and blockchain. There's some amazing ideas out there that are going to definitely disrupt certain parts of or certain industries, and I think that's what this is all about, and it is a bit of a race. So some of the existing companies with certain infrastructure are probably very eager and keen to come over. However, their legal teams will be saying, well, I wouldn't do it yet because we just can't. We can't do it without putting the existing company at risk. So there is a lot of money. I did hear a lot of people pay out ICOs, etc. last year, but a lot of that was got to do with one or two bad apples and maybe a little bit of dumping on release of these tokens on markets. I think there was a little bit of manipulation there. A lot of people were just thinking short term. They're just thinking how much money they were going to make in the first 2 weeks of an ICO. When you're actually making long-term investments in companies and visions that you believe in, I don't think that that's the right mindset. There's no doubt if you were going to have an opportunity of reinvesting in a blockchain entity such as Apple, or a disruptive technology that may reach the heights of something like an Amazon or an eBay or what these things that we saw come through the dot-com bubble, there is no doubt you'd have to have a long-term vision. Now, the MOBU offers a decentralized, that's the same page. I'm going to click onto the next one. There. Now, the securities market is a multi-trillion-dollar arena which remains virtually untouched, and I think I have spoken about that already. MOBU is a decentralized, organized ICO platform which facilitates the release of validated tokens. I've already spoken about that. As an organised ICO platform, MOBU solves the problems of cryptocurrency developers who are hesitant and unsure about all the procedures required when offering security tokens to the cryptocurrency community. So there's no doubt there's existing companies, securities that would like to migrate over, but they don't have a full understanding of how to actually launch their ICO in this new space, and that's what MOBU is also looking at solving. There's going to be various companies in industries such as mining, property development, retail will all now get the opportunity to legally raise funds via MOBU. Now, MOBU's decentralized organised ICO platform offers the following solutions, and I think that's something worth looking into when you're actually looking into these cryptocurrency and blockchains and products. You know, what are they looking at solving? Is it actually going to make our lives better? Is it going to disrupt the actual current industry and actually provide something that's going to save money? Is it going to present greater opportunities? Now, what MOBU is looking at doing, and I'm just going to read through some of these points, is going to bridge the gap between the securities marketplace and blockchain, which is actually miles apart at the moment due to lack of regulatory security, and such as these platforms are not necessarily running at this stage. It's going to facilitate the release of compliant security tokens for all businesses that are backed by real assets wishing to raise capital on the blockchain. It's going to create an abstract smart contract from which all security token ICOs will be extended, and it's going to provide clarification and certainty to both the investor and the issuer in terms of expectations and rights, and that's one of the major parts of all of this. Now, why security tokens? Look, the thing is, it's a part of, it's old school in the sense of securities. The big thing I believe, that one of the greatest parts of crypto is the limited supply. I find, and I did mention this in my previous video, I was a little bit frustrated at how the current securities that we invest in actually get diluted. I think there's a lot of positives to cryptocurrency-based blockchain tokens or tokenizations, or if you want to call it gamification. The strength of communities is probably the biggest thing that I find is going to win for a lot of these securities that are going to migrate over. There's no doubt a lot of them are lacking the communities that we see in the crypto space, and I'm sure they'd like to tap into that. Now, as the cryptocurrency market evolves, the global adoption of ICO fundraising structures has led to an explosion of new capital formation and has outpaced both the seed and venture capital investment markets. However, approximately 98% of these ICOs launched utility tokens. The tokenized securities market is a 24/7 marketplace. Tokenized securities improve traditional financial products in a number of ways. Fees are going to be lower, deals are going to be executed faster, if not in real time, through encrypted blockchain technology. Exposure to a larger and greater free market across the world. It's going to allow, because of the internet and how far it's evolved, obviously it's a broader market. There's going to be a larger investor base, automated service functions, and there's going to be apparently a decreased manipulation by financial institutions. Anyone that's in crypto now who has got their rose-coloured glasses on probably wouldn't see the manipulation. Anyone that's been in the space for a couple of years or more can see it pretty clearly. No doubt with Bitcoin, no doubt with the altcoins. A lot of that is due to just the size of the market cap. It's still so small that when $20 billion comes in or $100 billion comes into the market, and I can tell you there are cartels and financial institutions out there that have the money to manipulate the market when it's so small, and that's what has happened. I think in most of the manipulation so far has no doubt to be been done to earn a particular amount of profit, but it also has boosted the market and has obtained a lot of attention, because I think there's the powers to be as such really want crypto and blockchain technology to stick, because they know that that's going to be the future of not only currency, it's going to be the future of tokenization, security-based platforms, and it's going to create greater opportunities for applications and developers and creators of great ideas through this amazing potential of free market. So now MOBU, cryptocurrencies are here to stay, no doubt about that, and ICOs have the potential to transform the way companies capitalise themselves. The multi-trillion-dollar securities market remains virtually untouched in the blockchain space. MOBU allows for a whole new market of money to enter the cryptocurrency environment. Approximately 2,000 ICOs have launched their tokens on the Ethereum platform to date, and currently 50 to 60 ICOs utilize the Ethereum platform each month. Now, I don't know if those numbers are 100% accurate, but we'll go by what they've written here. In 2017, there were over 1,000 ICOs launched with an average amount raised of about 13.5 million average across the board. If 1,000 ICOs launched their tokens on the MOBU platform with an average amount raised of only $3 million, there will be an inflow of US $3 billion to the platform and subsequently increase the demand and price of the MOBU token dramatically. Not only that, it's obviously going to increase the size of the cryptocurrency market cap. It's going to increase the potential opportunities that the entire market is going to be just explode. There is absolutely no doubt there will be a massive race from the existing security-based industries across the board. Doesn't matter what you're in, whether you're Apple or whether you're a shipping company, whether you're in retail, online retail, whatever it is. If you're a publicly floated security and you're looking to get over to blockchain, I can tell you what, if you don't do that within the early stages, I think you may find yourself getting in a little bit of trouble in regards to not only liquidity, but attention and exposure and community support. In 10 years' time, if you're not on blockchain, I think you'll suffer. You never know. I think the stock market, as we know it, could potentially collapse. I don't know what that would look like, but it wouldn't be pretty. There's no doubt about that. And then all of a sudden there'll be this immediate, there'll be a 12-month, whatever it is, the 12 months, we'll say it's 12 months disruption, where the entire current system moves over to blockchain, and that's going to get pretty messy, especially during that disruption. And after that, it will be pretty rosy for anyone that's in the space. Although all business is hard work, but I can tell you that would have to be one of the number one decisions at a board meeting right now, is how do we migrate to the blockchain? Ecosystems and economics. The MOBU token is a utility token which directly impacts on future liquidity and interacts with the project ecosystem in both the short and long term. Anyone that's in cryptocurrency in regards to investments, or they're putting their money forward in favour of a great idea, should more often look at the utility aspect of the token. It doesn't have an actual practical use. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies on the market at the moment that actually don't have any use. All that they are in the long term is not feasible or sustainable. So make sure that you're looking at tokens that actually have a purpose. So the MOBU token will support the issuers. It's going to entitle and empower developers. There will be also rewards and things, and helps validate KYC providers. It's going to support investors, legal representatives, escrow providers, also establish and enable bank partnerships in regards to, they're talking about a direct transfer from fiat through to the MOBU token, and probably some others, because they are talking about an exchange, which I'll cover in a minute. Lockup utility to the MOBU tokens. So they're going to, there's going to be a certain amount of tokens that are going to be locked up for service providers, which will be introduced to access services rather than spend the tokens at once. This creates scarcity of supply in the market and increases demand and value of MOBU token. I'm always a bit mindful about when they start talking about potential value of tokens and saying it's going to increase the value of a token. I don't think anyone can predict that, because at the end of the day it comes down to their service and their platform and their product. If they don't deliver on those type of things, there is no demand. Then if there's no demand, there is no value. So I'd rather look at what they're going to deliver in regards to the platform itself. Moving along. Now, in the white paper, there is a whole heap of detail. There's 53 pages of information, and it does give you some insight to the ecosystem and how the token economics will work. You can go and do that. I'm a big believer that you need, if you want to get involved in crypto or blockchain, it's like any major decision in your life, whether it's financial or personal or whatever, you need to go and show some due diligence and get in here and have a bit of a read. The reason why I do these videos is to give you a little bit of insight, and it's more like a narration really, and if it helps you, that's great. What they've also done in their white paper is they've actually got a full write-up on a lot of their major heads involved and their team, which I always like. I like to see what these guys, especially if you're actually getting in there and you want to see what they're made of. I think a lot of them have a South African background. I think that's where this is originating from, and there's no doubt that South Africa is got so much potential, but they're also looking at in this new opportunity, because it's a one world now in regards to the internet. There's no doubt all of these platforms can reach a wider market share. So in the roadmap, which I found really important, I think, how long when you get invested into an ICO, or you're just watching the project out of interest, when are they actually going to deliver on their products, and what's their roadmap? Now, they're looking at launching their beta version of their MOBU platform, which is going to support the security tokens in July 2019. So that's next year. And this is what I talked about in my previous video about the ETF that's coming up around about the 16th to the 20th of August. There's a great possibility that that's going to be delayed. Because I think in the background you'll see that there's probably a little bit of politics involved in regards to access to the cryptocurrency market. We've just come out of that big 2017. I can't see that money and that energy coming back anytime soon, and I think with all the regulatory hurdles and the SEC needing to establish the appropriate path, I think these type of platforms, there's going to be something. I'm not saying that MOBU is going to be it, or Polymath, but these type of platforms are going to be the key, like I said, the doorway, the gateway for the transition and for the floodgates to open into crypto. And that's why I think these are really, really important. And I'm sure there are some more, but what we're looking at is it's a year away. Middle of 2019, I do believe 2020, 2020 and 2021 are going to be very, very strong. So there's a great opportunity. Just like I was saying last year in April, May, March 2017, I was talking about getting into crypto is a great opportunity because we're at a point, quite low in the market, and it was starting to take off. I think coming out of 2017, we're still on a bearish trend, so it may come down. But again, it's a potential opportunity based on not financial advice, but doing your own due diligence. You may find that there's a window of opportunity to get involved before the big wave. And I do, like I said, I think that's 2020, 21. Now they're also looking at creating the first Forex percentage allocation money management accounts called a PAM, which is an ICO on the MOBU platform. If MOBU raises 10 million, MOBU will develop the first Forex and crypto percentage allocation money management platform program. They're also looking at, and that's going to be in September next year, October 2019, they're looking at allowing gold mining company listings, okay, and that's huge. And we have 2 signed letters of intent for Chrome and gold mining business wishing to tokenize their businesses and understand the cost saving involved and benefits of using blockchain. That excites me. I mean, I think the precious metals, when they come over, if they can form communities, like imagine having a community on Telegram supporting their gold mining, whether you have moral issues with mining, I sort of do. It's a horrible sort of double-edged sword, digging big holes in the ground, but the allure of having gold as an investment and a hedge as an investor is also of interest. So, gold mining, and then they're talking about crowd farming, ICO, that's going to be in November, and then they're looking at a regulatory-friendly crypto exchange in March 2020. So that's going to be the year of wham, bam, boom. Now, I think Polymath may have a first-to-market advantage here. I don't know many other platforms that have sort of focusing on this. I think MOBU is the next one. They look very well structured, and like I said, if they can get through the regulatory web and deliver a platform, because there's space here for quite a lot of different platforms and teams to support the transition. So it'll be a very, very interesting period of time to see if MOBU can actually deliver on their promise and their idea, because that's all it is at the moment. It's a website and a white paper. Sounds promising. I'm excited for it because it is the gateway for securities to come over. They are having an ICO if that's your thing. I'm not here to shill ICOs. It's up to you to go and do your research, look into the white paper, see if that's something you really want to do. But guess what? All blockchains pretty much come with a token. Welcome to the future. It's tokenization, it's gamification, it's utilities, it's security tokens. It's that's just the way it's going to be, whether it's a security, a utility, or a currency. Welcome to the future of blockchain. Come and have a read. They've got a review of or an outlay of what they're going to be doing, and you can look into the ICO details, which is coming up. I think it's in 28 days. Let me have a look. I've just clicked on that page, and it's all gone quiet. Oh, well, I can leave it at that. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of MOBU. Is that going to solve some problems in regards to the transition from securities over to blockchain? What others do you know? Let me know on my Steam It blog. Let me know on YouTube, and hopefully that added some value to you. And thanks for watching, guys, and tune into the next video. Thanks.